Welcome to Business Voice, a program of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce. Each month, we'll feature business and community leaders sharing their stories, initiatives, concerns, and passions. Learn practical information regarding community resources and opportunities. Now, the host of Business Voice, Greece Regional Chamber President and CEO, Sarah Lentini.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Business Voice, a program of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce sponsored by Bartolomeo and Perotto Funeral Home. I'm Sarah Lentini, your host and also the president and CEO of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce, and I've got a wonderful lineup of guests today, starting with our first guest, Will Mack of LeChase Construction. Welcome, Will.
Well, thank you, Sarah. We're honored to be chosen to have a conversation today, so thanks for thinking of us.
Well, you're very welcome. You're very welcome, Will. So LeChase Construction is probably, a company name that's pretty well known to, I would think, the majority of our listeners, but that doesn't mean that they necessarily know all that much about LeChase. And you guys are a locally based company, correct?
We are. We are located in the town of Greece, obviously. So.
Which we love, being the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce, and we also very much appreciate, I should say right up front, your membership and your support, your wonderful chamber members, and of course, Barb Sauer is your VP of Finance, I believe, and she's on our board of directors, and we're very grateful to you and to her for letting us have her and her expertise and her time. So thank you.
Our pleasure. Thanks for having her and having us. And
yeah.
I don't know the count as I sit here right now. I should, Sarah, but it's amazing how many folks work for us, either in one of our offices or our construction sites, that live in the town of Greece. So it's a great honor to talk, and obviously we've had a great journey with Greece residents, and I'll mention some of the projects as you see fit.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, and it's not surprising, just to do a little quick piece of information, a little plug for the town of Greece. Of course, our members are not exclusively from the town. Half our members are from outside the town, from throughout Monroe County and beyond. However, the town of Greece is by far the largest town in Monroe County. It's got over 96,000 residents, which puts it in the same ballpark as the city of Albany, which is about 98,000. So that just is staggering. Town of Greece is most definitely one of the largest towns in the state of New York. So, of course, you've got lots of folks on your staff. There are many, many wonderful people in the town. Now, LeChase, as I said, you're locally based, but you don't just do work in Rochester or even in New York State, correct? You've got big projects all over the place. Tell us about that.
That's correct. Thank you so much. Yes, so we're obviously locally headquartered here, founded in 1944. We actually have our fourth generation of LeChases working for us.
Wow.
So we are culturally a family business. However, the business has gotten large enough at this point that there are a number of partners that own the business, or a small number of partners that own the business. But locally headquartered, and we actually have 11 offices. So we have 7 offices kind of in New York State, from Niagara Falls to just outside of New York City. Then we jump to an office in New Jersey, an office in Maryland, an office in Charlotte, North Carolina, and an office in Durham, North Carolina. So, but all of our central services and kind of the core headquarter components of the business are located right here. So,
that's great.
And what we've done over the years for various reasons is, with the growth of the construction industry and really the great culture that we've developed here, we've been able to develop a number of projects outside of town. So healthcare, higher education, institutional, industrial type projects. So you'll be, it's pretty awesome, if I could use that term, to be on the New York State Thruway outside of Albany and come across a LeChase truck headed back to our headquarters here. So it's a nice feeling.
Yeah. Oh, it should be. Yeah. And, I first became aware of LeChase quite a number of years ago. In fact, we haven't seen each other in a long time, but we've certainly known each other for many, many years. And, my memory is that you guys were very involved in some of the major community projects that I and another organization I worked for were involved in, and then I started to realize that you're often LeChase is a major community player, community partner, and is often at tables here in the greater Rochester region, helping to do some planning, some thinking. You're not just a construction company. So tell us a little bit about that. Is that coming from leadership, all those generations of family business?
Yeah, that's exactly what that is. Actually, that's the culture that we believe in and at the core of our strategy. So not only here in the local county and Greece as well, but we have a strong commitment to the communities that our offices are located in. We like to hire from within those communities. We like to have our folks go to local grocery stores. We like our folks' children to go to local schools. We like our families to go to local religious institutions, and it really sets up that culture of community for us. And in turn, we believe strongly as the leaders of LeChase to give back to the communities that have given to us. Mm-hmm. So we call that a good 50-50 partnership. And so we don't just chase a construction project to some strange location. We really focus on the communities that we all live in, as I've expressed.
Yeah, and you mentioned North Carolina. You've got two different offices, if my memory serves. Thinking about the list you just ticked off in North Carolina, and that's probably a great place to be. I certainly know enough people from Rochester that have actually, migrated in their sunset years to North Carolina. Seems to be the place to be. I imagine it's growing. So is that one of the other good things about that particular state?
And that's exactly what's occurred here. The demographics in North Carolina are young people, and as you start to think about warmer climates in your later years, that's occurring. Specifically, interestingly enough, in Raleigh-Durham, there are more Rochester families, and now Wegmans, of course, has made a strong presence in that area. So, yes, that is occurring. And what's great about that for us, actually, is we transported leadership out of the Rochester community to open and start those offices, and those leaders are still in place down there today. So kind of homegrown, yet and able to bring our culture to that community, but to integrate themselves into those communities.
That's great. And so I wasn't imagining it. It seemed to me that I was running across multiple people that had this, Rochester, North Carolina connection. So glad to hear that, my impression is borne out by some facts back there. So I also just want to mention that, you're so big and so successful that I think it would be easy for people to think that you would only take on an enormous construction project. And I'm guessing that's not entirely true. Do you can some smaller concerns come your way with a project, with a proposal?
Oh, that's so. I really appreciate you bringing it up, because actually that's a misnomer about our company. Obviously, we've been blessed. We have a huge project with the Greece City Schools. We have, numerous Kodak projects, the Unity Hospital expansion, the big Rochester Regional expansion that you see along crossing the Irondequoit Mall. I know I apologize, that's outside the town of Greece, but it's pretty visible.
That's fine.
More importantly than that are the smaller type projects that we do. So we do about 650 projects a year, and the projects range in size from $5,000 to $5 million to $15 million to $50 million to $250 million. And our folks are proudest sometimes of those smaller projects where we really make a difference for institutions and not-for-profits and religious institutions. So very proud.
Yeah.
Very proud.
And, I get to say this because I had a personal direct experience with LeChase many moons ago, kind of going back to when we first met, right, Will? And, working in kind of in another life, but also in a leadership role in a small nonprofit. We ended up working with LeChase as our construction company, our general contractor. And I was so impressed with the quality of the work and the care that, and attention that we were given, and we were not. We were clearly not your biggest client, but who would have ever known that? And that's really what you want when you're working with somebody, either in construction or in any field, quite frankly, is that you want to feel as though you matter to the company that's providing service. And I just want to say I think that was way back then. I think I said it to Wayne LeChase, and I said, you've got a wonderful team. I'm really, really impressed with everything they're doing. So I just want to say that, and it's because of that I know that you're not just a company for but you do the big projects. Obviously, you ticked off a couple, and you definitely do some big projects. But people shouldn't be frightened to reach out to you, or to at least include you in a bidding process if that's the process they're going through.
Very kind of you to say. Thank you so much for saying that. I just left Wayne. He's right in the other room, and you've just kind of hit the core of what we believe. and obviously making sure that we're making a difference on all those projects. And we made a decision years and years ago as the leaders of LeChase to say, those can be those relationships for not-for-profits and religious institutions. They're very you have to have a lot of management on them, but we said those are the places we need to work in our backyards.
Yeah, so. Very, very smart. So, Will, I didn't ask you this up front. I know you're you're part of the senior leadership team at LeChase, but what is your title? What's your role? How long have you been there? I think it's quite a bit at this point, right? Your tenure is fairly...
Thanks. Yeah, no, you're aging me. Thanks. Yeah, thanks, Sarah. No, I am the president of LeChase. And I have been here 29 years. So we have we have Wayne, who's our chairman, Bill Goodrich, our CEO, and me, the president. That's our leadership team from that perspective. But 29 years, and it's been a great journey. And like our leadership here, we all came through the ranks. So we worked on construction projects. We were project managers. We were in the field. We were in business development. We were in estimating. We were in finance. And so you don't just arrive as an executive in our business. It's a very hands-on business, which is a bit unusual when I look at other businesses.
So did you know that you wanted to be in construction? And by the way, I'm assuming you came straight out of high school, in order to have been there 29 years?
You're kind. I did, actually. My father was an architect in Niagara Falls, New York, and I knew in high school and I knew in college that I wanted to be in the construction industry. Ironically, though, I worked all through college as a carpenter helper, but ironically, I have a college degree in finance, which oftentimes people kid me about, but very much like your listeners, business is such a strong component of everything we do every day that the finance degree has been a great benefit to LeChase and to me personally. So, the thing that really strikes the most balance here at LeChase is the ability to interact with people and be a people person and motivate and facilitate people. So it's not the degree; it's kind of how you're able to work with folks for a common goal.
Yeah, of course. But finance sounds like a perfect thing to have majored in. I agree. I'm imagining that's very, very useful as you're doing some planning for the company, in addition to the 29 years of experience, which are obviously pivotal. So I know that you can't list them all because you guys are involved in so many different things. And this question is not about what's happening in the town of Greece. I mean, the Greece Regional Chamber really is regional. And besides, we live in a context which is a regional context. And, we can't be so parochial that we just, do business in just a town. We're all in and out of each other's spaces, as it were. So what are one or two projects that you guys are involved in or anticipating being involved in that might be of interest to our listeners that are coming down the pike that are, regional, that are going to impact our listeners?
Sure. I'll rattle off a couple quickly. Thursday, I was honored to be at the ribbon cutting for the new Veterans Outreach Center housing in downtown Rochester on Scioto Street, which we're extremely proud of because our veterans are close to our heart here at LeChase, and as they are, I know, with you, Sarah. So that was a great honor. In downtown Rochester, in the city right now, we're actually renovating what's called Southeast Towers, which everyone might recognize or know, which is just at the base of Manhattan Square Park.
Okay.
And right next door, the Strong Children's Museum is undergoing a huge expansion, which we're doing.
Wow.
So those would be two notable that a number of your listeners will probably see, and those with families utilize that Strong Children's Museum. And then if you jump down actually to Henrietta, we're just starting a new orthopedic care center for the University of Rochester, which is taking over what used to be the Sears or a large portion of Marketplace Mall.
Oh, wow.
And I know that's similar ownership, I believe, to what the Greecetown Mall is.
Yes,
so
yes, it is.
Maybe some thinking there in the future for that institution. But those would be three large notable ones. In addition to that, obviously, as you've pointed out so well, we focus a lot on those smaller institutions and groups, Bank of America, RIT, St. John Fisher, and jobs that are $250,000 to $500,000. So
that's great.
Always in that arena.
Yeah. So. I must tell you that of all the things on the list, the thing that's sort of giving me the big wow is expanding Strong Museum, because Strong Museum was expanded a number of years ago and is not exactly a small place to begin with. So that's exciting. Where is the footprint going to, is there enough land? There must be enough land or you wouldn't be doing it. So Does it double the footprint? How big is it? How big is it going to be?
I don't think it quite doubles it, Sarah, but you do recall that, remember? Because that's actually the butterfly exhibit that faces the new WYSL headquarters building, which we also did back in the day.
I didn't realize that. Great building.
We finished the parking garage, was the first phase of the Strong Museum expansion. So if you've been down in that area, you will literally see a rainbow as you look at the horizon, and that is the exterior of the parking garage. And then it's an infill from that parking garage to the back of the museum, and really they are concentrated on some new exhibits, which I'm probably not at liberty to say, as well as expanding some of the existing great areas that they have within that facility.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's great.
Yeah,
well,
it's really exciting.
Yeah, well, it's good to have some stuff that's a little mysterious, right? So that there's a reason to come. It's not just expanded space, but there's some new exhibits and something new and exciting going on downtown. Several new and exciting things, just on your plate that are going on downtown. And I know that there are more. I so appreciate your coming on the show. I hope that you will come on again and update us as to what's going on. And if people want to reach out to you, what's the best way? Is there a website that we can share with listeners?
Yeah, there is. Our website. I do have contact information on there, macw@lechase.com, but then lechase.com is our website, and or certainly by calling the main office, which is right here on the, as I said, locally, 254-3510. So we're anyway, individuals love to reach out. Again, part of our leadership strategy is to be very involved in the community. So thanks for having us, and we're honored to be here today, Sarah.
You're so welcome. Will Mack, President, LeChase Construction, one of our homegrown, very, very successful homegrown businesses, and in a high-quality one. We so appreciate your coming on Business Voice and your partnership and your membership. All right, don't go away. We're going to be right back with my next guest.
The loss of a loved one can be an overwhelming time of hectic activity and high emotion. Remembering and celebrating the lives of those who have passed is important and fulfilling. A meaningful farewell, focusing on their life story, can help with healing. Some families turn to the clergy at their church to capture the essence of a person's life. However, those who may not be connected with the church may worry there is no one to fulfill this important role. At Bartolomeo in Perotto, we believe that a life remembered lives on. One of our trained funeral celebrants can help you thoughtfully design and organize your loved one's treasured memories and ensure that the story of their life is not forgotten. Discover how you can create a meaningful farewell. Visit Bartolomeo.com or call us today at 585-720-6000.
Since 1983, Herco Computers is Rochester's first and most experienced custom computer system builder. Herco Computers is proud to be working with many of our original customers, including the Greece Chamber of Commerce. Whether you need a custom business PC, gaming system, or network server, Herco Computers can build you a custom computer system that exceeds your expectations. Herco Computers also offers complete IT support for your business. We can configure your business network, provide security from viruses and ransomware to keep your business or medical office running the way it should be. Herco Computers is also a full-service provider of network wiring, Wi-Fi, and network camera systems. Need to upgrade from Windows 7? Give Herco Computers a call at 227-1270 to discuss your options to get your business upgraded to Windows 10. Herco Computers is proudly locally owned and operated since 1983. Call us at 227-1270 and schedule your Herco Computers free IT evaluation. Herco Computers, 227-1270.
If you're looking to market and grow your business, make new business connections, and give back to the community in a meaningful way, consider joining the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce. We're the largest suburban chamber in Monroe County, and we offer networking, education, marketing, insurance, and advocacy. You do not need to live or work in Greece to join. Our members come from throughout the region. In short, we're better together, and together, we're moving business forward. Visit greecechamber.org or call 585-227-7272 to join today.
The one media outlet you can count on. The voice of liberty. The WYSL stations.
And we're back. You're listening to Business Voice, a program of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce, sponsored by Bartolomeo and Perotto Funeral Home. I'm Sarah Lentini, your host and also the president and CEO of the Greece Regional Chamber. And I am delighted to welcome our next guest, Christine Hill of the Village at Mill Landing. Welcome, Christy. How you doing?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, delighted. Yeah. So the Village at Mill Landing is a wonderful place. I'm just going to start out by saying that. But a lot of our listeners may not be familiar with it. So tell us a little bit about the Village.
So the Village at Mill Landing is an assisted living and memory care in Greece. We also have our enhanced license, which what that means is we're able to do more here at our assisted living than a typical assisted living can. So it allows our residents to age in place. Over time, we all get more aches and pains, and we change over the years. And as our residents change, we are able to change their care plan to meet their needs so they can stay here longer.
That's great. So, yeah. And you said that's an enhanced license, so there's actually, some licensure that goes along with being able to do that?
Absolutely. We are licensed by New York State Department of Health, and that was a special licensure in addition to our basic assisted living.
That's fantastic. So how many, first of all, I just want to start by saying the facility is beautiful. For anybody that hasn't been there, this is really a lovely, lovely place. What kinds of units do you have? Are they apartments? And how does, how many people do you serve?
Great question. So we have 134 apartments.
Okay.
Some of our apartments are 800 square feet. So they're 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. And again, the resident, it is assisted living. So they're able to get all of those wonderful amenities of the apartment, plus have the support of our staff. Memory care the same way. Those are more studio apartments. We have private and semi-private on memory care. But on our assisted living, we have actually 34 different styles.
Wow.
So it depends on what somebody's looking for. So there's really something for everybody. Granite countertops, the call bell systems that we have, that if a resident needs something quickly, they can pull that or use their button on their wrist. And it's basically a pretty innovative GPS tracking device on the resident within the community that we can locate them wherever they are if they need us.
That's fantastic. And that sounds like maybe the memory care portion, but then if you're talking about more of just an assisted living apartment, you mentioned it sounded like a menu of services. That wasn't quite your word, it's mine. But what kinds of services can you opt into?
So we can provide assistance with medication management, oxygen. We can do injectables. We do have nurses here that can do blood glucose testing for diabetics, insulin injections. They can actually do all types of injections as well. We can also do assistance with toileting and personal care, assistance with showers. And then the staff are making sure our residents are comfortable 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
That's fantastic. And what's the age range? I mean, do you have to be 65? Can you be 55?
It's actually 55 and over. I believe our youngest resident is 60. Our oldest resident is 103.
Oh, wow. Happy birthday to 103. That's amazing.
Yeah, she's doing great. 103. Yep. Wow. God bless her.
Yeah. Well, and it seems to me, and it was supposed to be true, but I haven't, I'm not sure if what I'm saying is a fact or not, but it seems like people are living longer and longer, right? I mean, is that still a trend?
Absolutely. We're seeing residents coming to us at 80, 90, and they've been living at home all this time. And now, especially with the pandemic, we're seeing that needs have changed, and it's been really hard on caregivers at home. It's been hard in our industry in general, but it's been really hard for caregivers that were taking care of somebody at home, and they're seeing the needs, and they're seeing, needing family support more than ever. So right now, it's just a great time to explore senior living. Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm imagining that there are all sorts of ranges of abilities, and that some of the residents are mobile and some maybe not so mobile. Correct?
It depends on if they've been aging in place. We traditionally admit somebody that is going to enjoy our programs going to enjoy our services, and as their needs change, we are able to change that care plan with them. So if somebody is truly wheelchair bound, they're bound to their room, that's probably somebody more for a nursing home level. Okay. We want somebody to be able to enjoy all of our programs and services and amenities of our community to the fullest. So that somebody is really an individual that really shouldn't be living home alone, but they don't need the nursing home quite yet. So that is the population that is coming in, and actually we've seen an uptick in our referrals since March, which is wonderful.
That is. I imagine, as you mentioned, because of the very challenging year that we've had behind us, hopefully behind us, actually, that that it's given people, made people think a little bit more about having supports. That makes a lot of sense to me. So, in case you're just joining us, you're listening to Business Voice, a program of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce, sponsored by Bartolomeo and Perotto Funeral Home. I'm Sarah Lentini, your host, and also the president and CEO of the Greece Regional Chamber, and I'm talking with Christy Hill of the Village at Mill Landing. And Christy, you run the Village at Mill Landing, correct? Tell us a little bit about your role at the Village.
So I'm the general manager, so I oversee the entire community. I am the administrator on record with New York State Department of Health. My background, I actually started in college as a finance major and did a stint with a minor in health administration. Did an internship, loved it in long-term care. Knew that's what I wanted to do, so I immediately pursued my master's in health service administration. Got a job right out of college at a home care agency. Moved my way up, became the administrator, and I liked it, but I didn't love it. I really missed that connection, that people connection, and wanted to get back into long-term care. I jumped on an opportunity in Brockport at an assisted living, a newer assisted living, was there for almost 17 years, and I loved every minute of it. Literally, that was my second home. The owners that were there sold that property and helped build the one here on Mill Road, and I came over with them, and I've been here since this was a hard hat zone. So, so that's my story here, and again, love every minute of it.
So how long is that? How long has it been a hard hat zone, or since it was a hard hat zone, since it was constructed?
So we opened in February of 2017.
Okay.
Right in the middle of winter, but we were very, very busy. And we've been busy ever since. That's Again, great. Just a little blip with COVID, but I think that's with everybody in our industry. But things are getting back into full swing, which is wonderful.
Right. Let's talk a little bit about cost, affordability, access. The place is beautiful. The services sound great, and you can sort of pick and choose what you need. And we haven't even fully talked about amenities, but I'm just thinking about your beautiful back patio and, the fact that it's, it's a wonderful place for events. And I imagine that you put on some events. But so, do you need to be wealthy in order to come into a Village at Mill Landing? How does that work?
Not at all. We really have different types of apartments for every budget. Certainly, if you are more on the budget-friendly side, we can show you options there. We have semi-privates for our memory care. That's a wonderful budget option as well. And then there's privates, and then, like I said, up to we have 1 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms that I call the penthouse that meets the needs of somebody looking for that, and then that price range. That's so great. There's really something for everybody. Plus, there's also the VA aid and attendance for widowed spouses of veterans or the veteran themselves and their spouse. That also helps contribute to senior living costs, too. So that might be an option for some people out there as well.
And you guys have expertise. So if somebody reaches out to you, you can help them navigate all this, right?
Absolutely. And if for whatever reason we're not the right fit, whether it's financial or otherwise, we are also a resource to help somebody find the right fit for them.
Fantastic. So if somebody's listening and they're interested and they want to learn more, how do they do that?
Just give us a call, 585-720-3033, and we would be more than happy to help.
That's great. Should they, can they pretty much talk to anybody when they call, or should they ask for you or somebody else?
Yep, they can ask for me. Amy Rist is also our sales manager, and Brittany Gross is also our sales advisor. So between us three ladies, there's somebody here 7 days a week that can help them out.
Oh, 7 days a week. That's really terrific. So if somebody's listening to this on the weekend, they could still pick up the phone and call, and they'll get somebody?
Absolutely.
Oh, that's fantastic. So before I let you go, I just want to ask you one thing, and that is, because this seems important. So this is the kind of facility where if one member of a couple isn't doing so well, but the other is perfectly healthy, they can still move into an apartment together, and the services can be tailored for each of them, correct?
Absolutely. Also, we're really unique in that we also have our memory care under the same roof. So I actually have a couple moving in today that the wife needs the services of our secured memory care. So she is taking an apartment on memory care, and the husband is taking an apartment on assisted living. He can still go over and see her, but he is not the overwhelmed caregiver anymore. They were coming from home. So it's really quite the best of both worlds for them.
Boy, it does sound like it. I can imagine that would be very attractive to lots of older adults, lots of older couples, and could really be a blessing. So it's wonderful to talk to you. Christy Hill, General Manager of the Village at Mill Landing, thank you so much for being with us here today on Business Voice.
Thank you so much for having me. Take care.
You too. All right, don't go away. We're going to be right back. There's lots more to come.
WYSL Avon Rochester.
If you're looking to market and grow your business, make new business connections, and give back to the community in a meaningful way, consider joining the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce. We're the largest suburban chamber in Monroe County, and we offer networking, education, marketing, insurance, and advocacy. You do not need to live or work in Greece to join. Our members come from throughout the region. In short, we're better together, and together, we're moving business forward. Visit greecechamber.org or call 585-227-7272 to join today.
Right now, we are all faced with a challenge both personally and professionally. You might be displaced from your current employment and thinking about what you could do differently for a living in the changing economy. Either way, you can find yourself with a little more time on your hands to think about these things. That's where John Adams of FranNet can help. John is a local senior franchise consultant for FranNet. He can help you navigate the many local franchise opportunities that exist right here in upstate New York. Go to frannet.com, that's frannet.com with 2 N's, and take the free readiness assessment that helps determine the best franchise opportunities for you. The COVID-19 health crisis has created uncertainty in the economy, but many have predicted a roaring comeback when we get the medical aspect under control. Now is a great time to do your research and have John help you find a business opportunity that will help you prosper in the future. Call John Adams at 585-739-6625 or go to frannet.com. That's frannet.com with 2 N's.
This is what we're made of. The businesses that line our streets and the customers that make them flourish. As a business owner, this is your community, your members, your regulars, your neighbors. Your business is unique. So are your customers. No matter who you need to reach, Spectrum Reach is here to help you connect with the right message on every screen. Visit SpectrumReach.com to connect with a local advertising expert. That's SpectrumReach.com.
Care. It's more than a word. It's the heart of our mission and purpose for more than 25 years. Today, we serve 2.3 million members, partnering with top-quality providers and caring for communities across New York State. This is Fidelis Care. If you need health insurance or if your coverage is changing, Fidelis Care can help. Call 1-888-FIDELIS, TTY 711, or visit fideliscare.org.
Tell advertisers you heard about them on WYSL. AM 1040 and 92.1 FM and 95.5 West.
And we're back. You're listening to Business Voice, a program of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce, sponsored by Bartolomeo and Perotto Funeral Home. I'm Sarah Lentini, your host, and also the president and CEO of the Greece Regional Chamber. And I have as my next guest Bill Testa of Frintz. Welcome, Bill.
Hi, Sarah. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So Frintz, which is F as in Frank, R-I-N-T-Z, is probably not a name that's going to be known to many of our listeners because it's a relatively new company, isn't it?
Yes, we just launched at the Lilac Festival here in Rochester this past month.
Wow.
It's been in the works for the past 3.5 years, and we've been excited to get to this point because it's a patented product. Nobody in the world is doing it. It's never been done in the world, and everybody will start finding out who Frintz is very shortly.
Well, that sounds quite exciting and intriguing. So what is Frintz?
So Frintz is a company that we know that obviously phones are growing and people are taking thousands and thousands of pictures on your phone. So we take all those pictures on your phone or your social media and we print them for you on Kodak machines and Kodak paper, 100% free to the consumer. We mail them to them for free, no cost. We never ask you for a credit card. We'll never ask you for any money. And we'll print those for you for 100% free to the consumer at the highest quality within 5 to 7 days.
Oh, wow. And so you're doing that for the consumer, and you said it's free?
It's free, and it's always free. So what everybody says, well, how do you make money? So we provide a service that, again, once you sign up, it's your address, obviously, so we can send you the photos. And then we have various sponsors that pertain to your local market. It could be the grass cutter, the landscaper, the small business that's in your area that's looking to get seen because everybody gets mail every day and they throw it out. So those are brands and products spending millions of dollars hoping somebody would see what they have to offer. Frintz will give those brands, products, advertisers 100% opening rate at a very, very minimal cost, less than what they would do for a postage stamp.
Because what you're doing is you're mailing somebody the photos that they wanted, that you're producing for them on high quality paper, and you're mailing them to them. So if they wanted them, they're going to open it, right?
Exactly. So it's the anticipation of them getting their own photos because it's theirs, and once they open them, they're going to have their pictures, but they're also going to have the brands next to them, and now they can decide, yes, I'm going to save that. I might be able to use that person in the fall, in the spring. I might be able to go get a discount at whatever mall or store that's in their area pertaining to their zip code.
Right.
And it's a win-win for the consumer, and it's a win-win for the sponsor or the advertiser.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great place for businesses to be positioned, because indeed, you're right. A lot of what comes in the mail might go directly in the trash, but it's not terribly likely this is going to be anything but opened, right? I mean, this is nothing in life is guaranteed. However, this sounds pretty darn close to a guarantee that the piece is going to be opened. So, and what a great opportunity to throw out an ad that not only describes you but also maybe has a nice special offer that's a good inducement for somebody to try something. But don't you have even more sophistication than that because you're able to really target, right?
Yeah, so we can geofence any area. We can actually target businesses that only want to work in a certain zip code. We can target the consumer to help the business out for a special demographic. Each business is different, so they all know who their ideal customer is. So we could take their ideal customer and fine-tune Frintz to make sure that their advertisement only goes to the people that help them out. So that's why it's 100% viewing rate also, because we can do that. Yeah,
so it's not just because so-and-so, the customer X is going to be opening this because they're looking for their photos, but you're also tailoring the ads to the person who's opening. So it's likely that the ads are going to have products that will be of interest to them to begin with, correct?
Correct, yes. We're actually giving those advertisers or businesses a live billboard in someone's hands for 10 seconds, and they actually hold it, and now they can be creative enough to what helps their brand or their business out.
Oh, it does indeed sound like a win-win, and something that's both simple and brilliant, kind of rolled together the way so many brilliant things are. Now, tell us a little bit about you, Bill, because the business may be new, but you have a lot of experience. So tell us what that experience consists of.
So I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. I started as soon as I came out of college. I opened up my first printing company. So I've been in the printing industry my whole life. And as I was in the printing industry, I also got heavily involved because I'm a big community person. So I became president of the Rotary. I was a 12-year board member of the Grease Chamber. Mm-hmm. I was also the YMCA board. I was president of a lot of the youth groups in town for decades. I love to get involved and help the community. I love to help organizations. I try to help as much as I can to give my knowledge and expertise to have them grow and have the community, because that's where I live. So I always want to help everyone out. So I got heavily involved in the networking side and really raising money for underdeveloped countries through Rotary, and helping our own Greece community and Rochester with the Invest in Youth campaign, helping the chamber businesses grow their businesses with various programs that we instituted and are still going on today with the help of you and others on the board now. So it's the way for me to give back, but and get more involved in helping everyone.
Yeah, and it's a really nice circle, if you will. Everything comes full circle because there's sort of a charitable giving component to you and also to the business, right? There are opportunities for charitable giving connected with the model?
Yes, I do. I do give back to various charities, and also when companies do partner with Frintz, we also help them out in the giving capabilities, and we can talk more about that as I talk to businesses. But we give back. I built the product that everybody wins: the consumer, the businesses, the sponsors, everyone in the community wins, and it's a win-win for everyone.
That's fantastic. And you, I think you alluded to this at the beginning, but I don't want to let you go without two things. One is how people can get in touch with you if they're interested, and that could be a consumer, right, who's looking for a photo, some beautiful photos, and maybe you can speak to the quality of the photos as well. And then also could be a business that's interested in advertising. So you've got two potential types of listeners, rather, that might want to get in touch with you. But then the other is just to talk a little bit about patents. This is a patented process?
Yeah, so everything Frintz is related to, we have a number of patents on our product. We have a total of 11 patents. We have other things that are coming out in various phases as we roll out Frintz. So those are all exciting things that we have on our back internal administration side. We also have a very powerful patent team that created a lot of the patents that we're all familiar with on your phone that all work for Frintz now. So we're always creating, we're always patenting and protecting the product.
That's
As
great.
The quality that you alluded to, we partnered back up with Kodak to use Kodak machines. So we want to make sure that it's always the highest quality of photo, the highest machine capabilities of the machine, and the consumer will love having the photos back in their hands. Yes.
That's great.
So those are the things we did there. And if you want to get in touch with me, the company is Frintz, Frintz. The website is Frintz.com. My email address is bill@Frintz.com. And anybody can email me, and my personal phone number, if that's okay to give out.
Of course. Up to you.
Is 585-739-5710. And if anybody wants to talk to me about how they can get more involved, get their business in front of 100% opening rate and tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of people in the Rochester or other growing markets around the country, anybody can call me, and we'd be willing to help them and talk to them and guide them whatever way we can.
Oh, well, that sounds pretty enticing, I must say, Bill. And just to make sure that people do know how to spell the company name, that's F as in Frank, R-I-N as in Nancy, T as in Tom, Z. Frintz. F as in Frank, R-I-N-T-Z. Frintz.com, and it's bill@Frintz.com, correct?
Yes, it's bill@Frintz.com, and you can always remember it's free prints from Frintz.
Free prints from Frintz.
Free
I love
prints
it.
From Frintz.
I love it. Bill Testa, from Frintz. Thank you so much for coming here and joining us here today on Business Voice to talk about your very exciting new venture and new company, Frintz. We hope you come back real soon and you give us an update.
I will. Thank you so much.
You're very, very welcome.
Have a good day.
All right, don't go away. We have one more guest. Don't turn that dial.
The loss of a loved one can be an overwhelming time of hectic activity and high emotion. Remembering and celebrating the lives of those who have passed is important and fulfilling. A meaningful farewell, focusing on their life story, can help with healing. Some families turn to the clergy at their church to capture the essence of a person's life. However, those who may not be connected with the church may worry there is no one to fulfill this important role. At Bartolomeo and Perotto, we believe that a life remembered lives on. One of our trained funeral celebrants can help you thoughtfully design and organize your loved one's treasured memories and ensure that the story of their life is not forgotten. Discover how you can create a meaningful farewell. Visit Bartolomeo.com or call us today at 585-720-6000.
Need help with health insurance? The Greece Regional Chamber provides assistance with health insurance for businesses, nonprofits, families, and individuals throughout our region. We pride ourselves on the personalized service that we provide for our clients. Let us help you find health insurance plans that fit your needs and navigate the paperwork. Greece Chamber Benefit Partners, located at 2402 Westridge Road in Rochester, New York, offers a broad range of medical insurance plans for businesses, nonprofits, individuals, and families throughout the greater Rochester Finger Lakes region, working with insurance companies including Excellus Blue Cross Blue Shield, Univera, and MVP Healthcare. We can also help you access insurance plans through the New York State of Health, the official health plan marketplace. Again, you do not need to live or work in Greece to utilize our brokerage services. We serve the greater Rochester Finger Lakes region of New York State. Visit greecechamber.org to sign up for one of our free health insurance information sessions or schedule an appointment with one of our licensed brokers. Call 585-227-7272. 585-227-7272.
Safeguarding your freedoms and your future. The WYSL stations.
Welcome back. You're listening to Business Voice, a program of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce, sponsored by Bartolomeo and Perotto Funeral Home. I am your host, Sarah Lentini. I'm also the president and CEO of the Greece Regional Chamber, and I have a wonderful guest waiting to talk to you, Ben Albert of Balbert Marketing. Welcome, Ben.
Sarah, I'm excited.
I am too. Ben, so speaking of excited, you've got an exciting new business, right? Balbert Marketing, is a business that you started this past year, isn't it?
Yep. It came amidst the COVID crisis, and it's been crazy, but it's been overwhelming, but it's also been really satisfying.
That's great. You know, it's also nice to hear that, because this has been such a challenging and difficult and painful year in many ways. It's nice to hear that there are some positive things that have emerged from it. And so what does Balbert Marketing, obviously is a marketing company, right? You obviously do marketing, but tell us a little bit more than that.
Yeah, so primarily an online marketing company. And, you know, my clients' values are my values. I like to sit down, be their consultant. You know, I looked at all the best financial advisors and insurance agents, and really what they do is they sit down and figure out what you need, and then they have a whole array of options for you so they can offer the best tailor-made fit for you. And I like to do that as a marketing company. So I'm definitely a marketing consultant, a generalist, where I like to sit down, see what Sarah needs, see what, you know, the client needs, and, you know, with my partnerships and my own skill set, try to determine the best fit for you.
That's nice. So there's no cookie cutter, ready-made thing that you're trying to get me to sign on to. You're really trying to figure out what I need and helping to tailor something specifically for my needs. That already makes me, you know, much happier as a customer from the get-go. And you mentioned online marketing, which of course is where, you know, that's the part of the marketing world that's increasing still, correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's also the part that's still fairly it needs to be demystified, because it's fairly mystifying for many of us, especially people, perhaps more in my generation, that didn't, we didn't come out of the womb into this online digital stuff. It emerged as we were, in my case, as we were adults. And so, for us, it isn't quite as natural as breathing. But before we talk about online marketing, which is obviously very important, there are still offline marketing strategies and platforms. And do you think that they're still important to be involved in?
Oh, without a doubt. Ultimately, networking events, handing out your business card, giving referrals, receiving referrals, making a phone call, these all still work. Mm-hmm. Where online comes into play in the 2020s is what happens after that business card is handed out, what happens after you make that first phone call. That's when online marketing comes into play. But all the traditional strategies, well, if you have a billboard on the side of the road, I can guarantee you thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people will see it. So They still work as well.
Yeah. So it sounds as though, not to put words in your mouth, but it sounds as though you're saying you probably want to have a mixture of approaches in order to be effective.
Absolutely. And to elaborate a little bit more, ultimately, step one is that first, let's say you have a billboard on the side of the road. These days, people like to do their research. And when they do their research online, that's where the online aspect comes into play.
Yep. So let's talk about online. And by the way, just to say before we venture into the online, I appreciate hearing that that the pre-existing and the older strategies and the in-person strategies still work. Obviously, the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce and chambers of commerce in general, offer lots of different platforms, and many of them are indeed in-person platforms. And we're getting right back into that environment, I'm happy to say. So, but online is incredibly important and growing and evolving. I don't even know if I fully know what's under the tent that's called online marketing. So can you start with that? What should I be considering? I might not sign on for everything, but what should I be thinking about if I want to, dip my toe into online marketing?
Yeah, just imagine everyone has a phone in their pocket. Most everyone has a computer. They're on Zoom. Mm-hmm. So online marketing is any sales or marketing that's utilizing those technologies. So if anyone hasn't done this, if you're in a business or you're a business owner and you haven't yet, write this one down. Google My Business. Literally, that's the 3 words, Google My Business. You want to Google My Business. That's a way to set yourself up on Google. It's totally free. You can have someone set it up for you, but setting up a presence on Google, so when someone searches for you, they find you. They don't find a competitor. They don't find the wrong state, the wrong business. That's a very basic step one. And then there's multiple things that you can grow on top of that, from web design to social media marketing. And we could probably do a 10-part series on it. But I like to let people know, Google My Business is a great way to set it up. You can have someone help you. But Google your name, Google your business name, see what happens, because when someone's doing research, that's the information. The info you get is the info they're going to get as well.
Oh, that sounds like wonderful advice. It's one of those things that, we'll have conversations as a staff. And one of the things that sometimes you forget to do when you're a business is to put yourself in the customer's shoes. And, to try going to the chamber website, for example, as a customer on the outside, as opposed to going in through the admin section on the inside, to really see what's experienced by the person you're trying to attract. And that's, in essence, what you're saying, which is that you want to make sure that, that business people out there are actually trying to Google themselves the way that a customer might, and seeing what the results are. And you might be pleased. You might see room for improvement. Chances are you're going to see room for improvement. And so that's where you come in. So Ben, tell us a little bit about you. Obviously I can hear just in the way you talk that this is very much, you're steeped in this stuff. But how did you come to this expertise?
I'd say it happened on accident. It's one of those things where, again, we could do a 5-part series on it. It's one of those things where there's not many overnight successes. There's a lot of things that have happened that led me to where I am today. From being a communications major in college to ultimately starting a music podcast 5 years ago as kind of a side hustle and growing that music podcast. It's called Rochester Groovecast. It's a local music, Rochester podcast, Rochester Groovecast. And I grew that and I marketed that all on the side when I was working for more corporate level marketing companies. And then I have a new podcast. I know this is a lot of information all at once, but I have a new podcast called Rochester Business Connections.
Oh, neat.
Again, Rochester Business Connections. And when I started my marketing company, I took the skill set from being, a communications and psychology major, the skill set of running a music promotion company, the skill set of being in a corporate level sales executive marketing role, and weaved it all together to turn it into a business. So
how wonderful.
A lot of moving parts, and it really just all stuck together just right. I feel like I got lucky.
Well, there's no greater joy than taking as much of your past experience as you possibly can and making it all make sense. Why did you do all those things? And making them all, bringing all that forward for people and helping them. That's actually, it sounds like you love what you do, and it sounds like you're likely to experience joy. Can't ask for better than that in life. So, Ben, I know that we're going to be helping to celebrate the grand opening of your business, and we're going to be doing it at the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce, and thank you for your membership as well. When is the grand opening? And it's open to the public, correct?
It is open to the public. Come if you'd like. We'll take pictures regardless. I don't even know what to expect. I'm just excited to. First off, thank you for the kind words, and I'm just excited to meet you in person. And spread the word of what we're doing here.
Yeah, that sounds wonderful. So, well, it's going to be, a little ceremony and lots of nice networking and maybe a little bit of something to eat or drink. Just a chance for us to say nice things and mark the occasion, because it isn't every day that a business is started, and you're starting one. You had the courage to start one during a very difficult time. So it's Wednesday, June 30th, 11 a.m. It's at the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce at 2402 West Ridge Road, and we're going to be celebrating with Ben Albert of Balbert Marketing. I think you can see where the name comes from. A wonderful, brand new marketing consultancy business. So please join us. And Ben, thank you so very much for being here today on Business Voice.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you having me on. It's been fun.
You're very, very welcome. We're looking forward to updates. All right, that just about does it for us here today on Business Voice, a program of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce, sponsored by Bartolomeo and Perotto Funeral Home. I'm Sarah Lentini. I've been your host. I'm also the president and CEO of the Greece Regional Chamber, and I just want to thank all of my wonderful guests today: Will Mack of LeChase Construction, Christy Hill of the Village at Mill Landing, Bill Testa of Frintz, and, of course, Ben Albert of Balbert Marketing. We hope that you tune in next time to Business Voice, and in the interim, check us out on the web, greecechamber.org. That's greecechamber.org, O-R-G. Until then, be well.
You've been listening to Business Voice. The Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce serves businesses, nonprofits, and individuals throughout the region, focusing on promoting economic and community development and serving as the voice for business. The Chamber offers networking, education, advocacy, community events, and business services. It serves as an important platform for business leaders and citizens to come together in support of common goals.